Alright everybody, so I've been noticing a lot of videos on like the conversation of the next Xbox being more powerful than the PS5, or does it really matter how powerful they are at this point? I mean, the next step up is obviously going to be a lot better than what we have, but are we getting to the point where, 4K, does it really matter for games? 8K like the PS5 is talking about, do we really need it? Now, I was on a website earlier today, and it's talking about how the next Xbox will be more powerful than the PS5, and how important that is for the Xbox, or they all figured it's going to be two price points, a higher end one like the Xbox X is, and a lower end one, how one might be a streaming box, and I don't know. As I read these things, I'm like, okay, but does that matter? Now, I feel like there's a couple conversations I like to go with that. It's basically, we live at this point, what are we looking for? Are we looking for a 4K machine or an 8K machine? How powerful it has to be, or is the more powerful system one's going to win? Most of the time, that's not even true. So it doesn't matter, I think, that the Xbox is more powerful than the PS5. I don't think that's going to make it a better system or a better system seller, because obviously that's not working right now. So by looking at history, it doesn't matter if the Xbox is more powerful right now. And I think that's the big thing that I believe that they should try to make the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever, the as powerful as possible. Because let's put it this way: the PS3 and the Xbox One both launched in 2013. Since then, they've both come out with more powerful or slimmer systems, and games look great. They still don't run at 4K, perfectly fine. Computer gamers may think otherwise, which is, yeah, that's what they're used to. But once you get to the point of, especially with consoles, it's even across the board, pretty much for most people. You have an Xbox One X, you play against someone with an Xbox One X, you're going to pretty much have the same experience. With computers, yeah, some people want more powerful, more demanding, so they can have higher frame rates, better graphics, clearer detail. But with consoles, I feel like I think the PS5 and the Xbox One, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to call it, should go all out right off the gate. Because if the systems are going to last, at this point, if they don't come out until next year, PS4 and the Xbox One are both going to be 7 years old. A lot has happened in 7 years. But you know what? A PlayStation game, Xbox game, still looks really good, to the point where you compare them against PC. Yeah, the PC game will probably look better, but not that much better, considering that I was able to buy a piece of hardware from 2013, play a game on it, and compare to what it looks like on a PC at the newest graphics cards all out. Yeah, the frame rate's probably going to be better. Easily blow it away. Graphically, it may look a little better, or it will look a little better, but there's still not a lot there that I'm like, oh, well, I'm glad I waited 6 years to buy a PC to play games that I could have been playing 6 years ago. So, what I think the reason why the PS5 and the Xbox One 2 should be as powerful as possible is because I think they need to try to future-proof themselves. We're at a point where there's a lot of new technologies coming in, and I think VR or AR is going to be a heavy focus for the next console generation. So, do I think many games will take advantage of 4K or 8K? Yeah, probably. I think they're going to use that extra power for better stuff than 4K or 8K gaming, or 60 frames, or 120 frames, whatever the systems can punch out. I feel like all that power can be used to make worlds that are more expansive. more detailed. Because 1080p still looks great. And for a lot of people, if your TV, or even 4K, if your TV is only a certain size, and you sit, what's the average distance for a living room nowadays? 10 feet, 12 feet? If you're sitting that full 10, 12 feet away, a 4K TV at 50 inches, you're not going to notice it. You're not going to notice the detail difference than a 1080p from that same distance. So, is 4K that necessary? I don't think so. I think the more detail you can put into the game, the more objects you can put in, just the more you can make it look realistic, is probably more important than 4K or 8K. I think all that extra power is probably more important for VR. Many people may not agree that VR is the next step, but I think the only reason why VR hasn't got there yet is A, expensive hardware. People don't want to upgrade their computers. And it hasn't caught on quite yet because it's expensive. But if you're telling me that 100 million gamers who own consoles somewhere down the line could upgrade to VR with a add-on, yeah, I think a lot more people would be there. So if your consoles are powerful enough to handle VR, I think that's going to be the way VR goes. Mostly because, hey, look at the PSVR. It's not the best VR out there, but it sells well. A lot of people are buying them. A lot of people are playing games on them. Yeah, it's less than 5% of PlayStation's overall sales, but it's a new technology that's only been out a few years. I don't think that's bad. So I think for PlayStation and Xbox, I think they're both looking at VR or things they don't know of yet. What would be out in 2027? So I think they want to make the consoles as powerful as possible, so that way, if they do come up with a VR solution that is cheap and affordable, then they have a console that can run it. I mean, we're at the point where Oculus is coming out with pretty good headsets for $400. So you're telling me that the PSVR regular edition for the PS4, they can't upgrade that to a $200 solution? Because they already sell it for $200. They upgraded a little bit. Now it's for the PS5 with more hardware, higher resolution. So if the PS4 can handle VR pretty decently, I have to say, then the PS5 and Xbox One is probably going to handle it easily. And if you're only running the games at 4K, then you have all that extra room that you were trying to do for 8K. So I don't think it matters that the Xbox is more powerful than the PS4, but I think it's important that they both go as powerful as they possibly can get at the right price, because they don't know what's going to come out for gaming in the next 7 years. And I think they're going for VR or something along that lines. So, will the Xbox beat the PS5 this time around? Probably not. I really think it's what they have to offer. And at this moment, they don't really have much to offer other than all the game developers they've been buying. So I think what's really going to help out, who's cheaper, which Xbox may be with that streaming box they're trying to do, but who has the better games? So I think whoever announces the better games first is probably going to have a good chance. But also offer why one console is better than the other than just, oh, mine's more powerful. Game Boy was not the most powerful system. And look at that. Wii was by far not the most powerful system. So, I don't really care which one's more powerful. I want to see what they offer with it. And I hope it's some great VR setups. I mean, I have a computer that can run VR, but I still want it on my consoles because I feel it would just be better for the games because there's such a large install base. Yeah, I know computers is large too, but in the world of console gaming, it just seems like things that come up for consoles tend to do better, at least for those companies. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think it matters how powerful they are? Or do you think that it's all about the power? Alright guys, have a good night. Keep on gaming, and let me know what you're looking forward for the next consoles. Like, what is that one feature you want them to do that will make it a must-buy for you? And if you're a computer gamer, let me know your thoughts on it. do you think it matters that computers are more powerful than console games anymore, or is it just whichever thing gets the better games? Consoles, computers, handhelds. All right, everybody, have a good night and keep on gaming.